There's a sign there. Caution, electricity, do not touch with bare hands. There are smart guys who say, no, I want to try it. And then a flash of light hits. It's called Pulsa de Nura. And that's it. The person gets burned. Not physically, don't worry. You'll all remain physically alive. So, this article is called From the Book of Zohar, which we studied in the city of Tzfat. We studied the Zohar, the portion of Beshalach. The article is called At the Time When Moses Entered the Cloud, said Rabbi Elazar. At that time when Moses entered the cloud, as it is written, and Moses went into the midst of the cloud, like a person who walks inside a mysterious spirit, and there encounters a great angel. We learned that his name is Kumuel. He is appointed over 12,000 appointed messengers. So says the Book of Zohar. He wished to join Moses. And then Moses opened his mouth with 12 precisely engraved letters of the holy name, which the Almighty had taught him in the revelation of the burning bush itself. As is known, the Almighty revealed himself to Moses in the burning bush. He hid his face so as not to see, and because of this he was granted the merit to see. And this angel withdrew from him by 12,000 parsaot. Then Moses walked in the cloud, and his eyes burned like blazing coals. Rav said that every level there is Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yeshida, but Moses' level was constantly in the attribute of Bina. As it is said, Moses attained Bina, and the angels must serve the souls. But in their service there are many aspects. Sometimes they help, sometimes they push away. It all depends on the situation. The angels are from the worlds of Beriah, Yetzirah, Asaya, but they influence the souls in such a way that the souls must ascend to Atzilut and attain all the levels, and with the help of these attainments, all the corrections take place. In this article, the Zohar explains all the levels of Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yeshida, through which Moses received the Torah for the Taktan. At each new level, one begins with the smallness consciousness state, Katnut or Ruach, which also includes the Nefesh. That is, these are two levels where intensive work is done in concealment. The first is Ibur, the second is Katnat. They must both be assimilated by the person. First, he must accept the entire transmission from the teacher so that he is given the opportunity to build himself without improvisation. Otherwise, he will experience a shattering of the vessels if he does not build himself up and receive the basic forms. Then, in the process of his construction from above, he will also participate and work through what will be given to him from above. This is Nefesh, Ruach, Katnut. Then they draw down Gar or Gadlut, in other words, the result. Attainments come to these vessels, and with their help it happens. Correction, what does it mean? And Moses entered into the cloud. A person works at the level of Ruach, that is, developing the vessel, and in it also includes the level of Nefesh, the Ibur level. Then comes an explanation of the order in attaining the levels of Neshama, Chaya, and Yeshida, which are known as Gar or Gadlut. So the Zohar continues and encounters there a great angel. This clearly points to Gadlut, and Chokmah is indeed the drawing of Gar. His name is Kumuel. The name indicates Gadlut from the word lekum, to rise, to the level of Moshe, from the level of Binah or Hafetz Chesed, which rejects Chokmah, and he is appointed over 12,000 designated emissaries in total. Thousands refer to the quality of Abba Ve'ima at the level of Chokmah. He wished to join Moshe, to give him support, and then Moshe opened his mouth, meaning he began to attain. But Moshe, in his spiritual constancy, was in Hafetz Chesed, meaning he needed nothing. He did not want to receive anything, for he had attained the quality of Bina, and he rejects Chokmah, pushes away the light that is drawn to him, and therefore it distanced itself from him. Moshe did not wish to receive it even in the 12 engraved letters of the holy name. These are the 12 combinations of the letters of the name. Havaya, which the Almighty taught him in the attainment of fireproof bush, and he moved away from it. 12,000 parsaot, and then Moshe walked in the cloud, and his eyes burned like blazing coals. I heard from the Rav that Moshe only received Vak de Chaya, but not Gar, personally. That is why it is said that his eyes blazed like coals, which indicates the level of Neshama. In other words, he did not draw all the light that was revealed to him. On the contrary, he blocked it. And only that which was within the bounds of faith and bestowal did he draw, and that is what he looked at. That is to say, he attained. This is called the eyes of the Partzuf. until he eventually encountered an angel who was even greater and much more important than the first. We learned that his name is Adreniel, to take one's own talents, unique charisma, and devote everything to the collective field for the sake of unity. So, he is the highest among all the angels, this Adreniel. He stands above 1,600 groups of Parsaot. His voice travels through 200,000 firmaments revolving in brilliant white fire. When Moses saw him, he lost his speech for a moment, unable to find the words, and wished to throw himself into the thick cloud. Rav said that this angel influences the drawing down of Gardiaba Ve'ima, which is the quality of Chaya. He is the highest above all the angels, standing on 1,600 groups of Parsaot, for the qualities of Abba Ve'ima are manifold. His voice travels through 200,000 firmaments, revolving in white fire. The voice is the middle pillar and signifies 200,000. It is also called white fire, because Gardiaba Ve'ima is Hafetz Chesed. And for this reason they are called Gar, even though they are simply not true Gar. Gar is absolute perfection, a state of completeness. Why did he say that they are Gar but not true Gar? Because true Gar is the light of Chokmah, the light of the Creator's design, when it is revealed to a person, and they get results. But here Gar is perfection that comes from service, not from the light that is received. That is this feeling, what I am doing right now. Serving the Creator is itself my reward. This is where all my perfection lies. This is the state. That is why it is called white fire, which points to the quality of Chokhmah. When Moses saw it, he lost his speech. Here they use the angel through rejection, because here the angel revealed to him the quality of Manula, the lock. And before that Moses was proceeding in qualities of Miftacha, the key. But at the moment when the angel revealed to him the qualities of Manula, Moses lost his speech and he wanted to throw himself into the cloud. Here Moses used the angel by means of rejection. The Almighty said to Moses, "You are the one who spoke so much with me at the revelation of the burning bush and wished to know the secret of the holy name. Back then you were not afraid, and now you are afraid of one of my servants?" When Moses heard the voice of the Almighty, he was strengthened, opened his mouth in the 72-letter supreme name, and when Adreniel heard the letters of the holy name from Moses' mouth, he trembled, approached him and said, "Happy is your lot, Moses, for what has been revealed to you is not revealed even to the highest angels." The Rav explained that upon hearing the voice of the Almighty, the quality of Manula, the lock, was sweetened. He opened his mouth with the 72-letter supreme name. The opening of the mouth is the attainment of the Chaya level. He walked until he reached a mighty fire from one angel whose name is Sandalphon. He says, "We have learned that Sandalphon is above all his other companions by 500 years. Do not think of this materially. These are not material times. These are spiritual levels." He stands behind the parts of his master, weaving crowns for him from the requests and prayers of Israel. Therefore, the host and multitudes of angels tremble, sing praises, and say, "Blessed is the glory of the Almighty from the place of his Shekinah's dwelling." Rav said that when the angel Sandalphon is invoked, the light of Yeshida is drawn. At this point, the article was cut off. Does anyone want to ask or discuss these topics? We have a comfortable sandal, which is what covers the foot, the very lowest part of the step, which draws in the light. It must be blocked so as not to draw the light onto oneself. To guess is from the serpent. The serpent in Hebrew, Nahash, and to guess is Nihus. That's why I never guess. I either attain or I remain silent. If I want to be in Chasadim right now, in this case, from the level of the angel, Chokmah is drawn. I do not use this level. And vice versa. If the angel expresses a state of Chasadim, but I need to draw the light of Chokmah, then I enter into it. It all depends on what needs to be done. In general, this is when a person knows how to work according to the 3 columns and draws the light of Chokmah through the middle pillar so that it clothes itself in the vessels and does not cause a breakage. This is in general, but in particular, one needs to study for many years to understand. He didn't need to, he wanted to be in faith. You would like that if I knew everything you thought about me. I want to believe that you only think good things about me. That's all. Nothing else interests me. because I want to build a relationship of love with you, not a relationship of knowledge that would push me away from it. I understand, like any normal person, that everyone has bad thoughts, all sorts of things, and anyone here can irritate each other. But the Almighty made the world in such a way that we don't see this. He hid it. If I want all of this to be revealed to me, that means desiring Gar. On the one hand, you can't want just a little. If I'm working with you to help you advance, I should want to know everything about you. But on the other hand, when all of this is revealed to me, is extended to me, I have to block that part, which could affect our ability as a group to stay united. That's why those parts that are simply revealed and could show something that I don't need in order to interact with you, I don't want to see them. This is called walking in faith. There are vessels that attract, and there are also vessels that receive. Here we are talking about vessels that attract. Sandalphon is Malkut. Here the angel was used through rejection, because here the angel revealed properties of Manula, and earlier Moshe went in the property of Miftacha. Before this, he was acting in the quality of Miftacha, meaning he was engaged in drawing down the light. But here he was shown Manula. He was taught to block it in a way that he wouldn't use it at all. When he wants to work through these levels, he can use it. It's simple. What does simple mean? You have to start doing it. As you understood it, just go and do it that way. That's what is called simple, but we complicate things, and if you don't do it, you'll never find out anything. You'll just keep reading these texts until retirement, and then you will ask, what does it mean to refuse? Reject like Gar? I don't know how to explain it to you. When you get there, you'll see. I go there and I see. In the spiritual, there is constant movement. As soon as it stops, the light of Chokhmah ceases. That's why it's said that the righteous have no rest, neither in this world nor in the world to come. So, if that's what you mean, pension. Well, there's no such pension there, but what kind is there? They say that there, everything you've accumulated is received later, like a pension fund, all at once, the entire pension. All at once, all the spiritual attainments, the tiny small ones that a person went through, they are received at the end, all at once, from the angel Mekaptzil. For example, if you shine sunlight directly into your eyes, it can blind you, you won't see anything. Those who have vessels, they see. Those who don't see. This light burns them. That's why it needs to be sweetened. Light is not only pleasure, it's also the revelation of brokenness. It's not that people think, when will I get my pleasure? The light, it comes, and the very first thing it does is show a person that he cannot hold on to it. It is expelled from the vessel. He loses it. It leaves him in depression, in darkness, and shows him, you see, you couldn't hold on to me because you have impurity. The person sees it, and now the question is, will he start working on it and fixing it, or will he stick his head in the sand like an ostrich? There are those who love to poke their noses where they shouldn't, and then, you know those grates they put up? There's a sign there. Caution, electricity, do not touch with bare hands. There are smart guys who say, no, I want to try it. And then a flash of light hits. It's called Pulsa de Nura. And that's it. The person gets burned. Not physically. Don't worry. You'll all remain physically alive. Spiritually, cut from Creator.